Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm Mike Kosciesza, or as I've come to be known, Coach Kos. Tonight we're going to be going through our favorite moments of Thursday Night Live so far in the year that has been. And if you notice, I'm wearing my favorite ugly Christmas sweater. Boy, is it ugly. Tonight's game features our favorite moments from the first season of TNL. The Peterborough Petes acknowledge that the land that we gather on to cheer on your mighty maroon and white is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Mississauga adjacent to the Haudenosaunee territory and the territory covered by the Treaty 20 and the Williams Treaty. Fans, we remind you to please stay alert at all times when on your couch during the pregame activities. During the game and at stoppages in play, pucks, sticks, and other flying debris can cause serious injury. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Fans, you are reminded that no objects are to be thrown on the ice at any time unless it is a hat for a Pete's hat trick. In the case of a hat trick, you can retrieve your hat from your front porch after the game. Thanks for your cooperation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Kos. I think before we start, though, I'm not really feeling this sweater. I might put on something a little more comfortable and stylish. Our first favorite moment comes from one of our early guests, Pete Dalliday. Pete shared his great story about his father and OHL broadcast legend, Gary Dalliday, in a bit of a dust-up during a game. Let's have a listen.
There's been a couple, and if you ask any former players as well, I'm sure they would have a couple too. He just they really liked him, and he'd go to the back of the bus. I never really did, but he'd go back there. I guess because he played 6 games or whatever it was for the Petes, he was allowed to, I suppose. But they would have some great stories too. One that stands out is one I told not too long ago, last week actually, that we were doing a playoff game in St. Mike's. It was the really small arena, the old St. Mike's arena before they moved to Mississauga. And we were basically on this glorified platform that was above the penalty box, like literally above the ice. Like pucks used to come up there. That we were that close to the action. And the TV station that was covering the games all of a sudden decided to put these 2 sort of big boom mics in our box, basically to pick up the crowd noise and the noise from the ice. And they were obstructing our view a little bit. So my dad, being, he's a TV guy, he's got a background, so he's got some respect for the equipment and stuff. He just gently moved them a little bit. He didn't take them down. He just kind of moved them out of our way a little bit. Well, this guy comes up from the TV. I won't mention what network it was, but anyway, he comes up and he's about 6'4", and my dad's like 5'9", I think, and he's like 62 years old at this time, if not older. And this guy says, "Who moved those microphones?" And my dad gets up, all 5'9" of them, and he goes, "I did." And he's looking up at the guy, and he goes, like, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" He basically, I had to separate the two. The play is going on, and things got almost kind of ugly. And of course, some fans probably could see this too, because it was such an open concept sort of booth. Nothing physical did happen, perhaps because I kind of was in between them, but that was a fun one that we had a chuckle about. And
our second moment comes from Pete's assistant coach, Derek Walzer. My fellow coach, Derek, told the story of one of his appearances in the Spengler Cup tournament. Here's that story.
Well, for anyone who has an opportunity to go to the Spengler Cup, it is, 1, it's a privilege. 2 is you want to go every year. I remember way back, I think it was 2006, I went with my local club with Berlin. We went over, and it wasn't the same experience as when I went to Switzerland to play. I went with Team Canada. How they treat you is unbelievable, from your family coming over to your wife and kids, and to the spread of food and gifts and opportunity to see a beautiful country like that. It's unreal. But the best part of it is hockey at its beginning. Every team is there, having fun, spending time with their family, hanging out. There's no real curfews and stuff like that. Guys are hanging out. When you get on the ice, you're playing serious, but it's fun. It's just like a good old-fashioned fun hockey tournament you'd play at midget or bantam back then. It's just genuine hockey, good, clean hockey. The rink is packed. There's people everywhere skiing, dog sledding, horseback, sled rides all through the mountains. But the one thing I did love about it was the fan support. Every game is sold out, and it is a privilege for 10 days to go there. When you're, like Willie and Burns mentioned, you don't have a lot of outlets, so you're getting a hotel full of Canadians, which you may not have when you're in Switzerland by yourself, not in the tournament. You'd only have maybe 2 or 3 people that are imports or even speak your language on your team. And there you go into a hotel of 800 to 1,000 people that are it's all English, and it's a nice outlet for your families to get who don't have a lot of family members over there that feel like a family Christmas. So it's something that's special. I'd love to go again. Again, if I get a call to do it again, I put my skates on and play right now because it's something that you never forget. And my kids talk about it all the time. When can we go back to Switzerland, the Spangler Cup? And I always tell them hopefully one day, but you never know when that will happen. But if I get a chance, I'll jump at it.
Get into the season of giving with our Holiday Flex Pack, which includes a Pete's yearbook, a collectible Pete's goalie mask, a Pete's ornament, a Pete's game puck, and 6 Flex ticket vouchers redeemable over the next 2 seasons. Be one of the first 100 to purchase, and your Flex Pack will include a Pete signed photo. Our third moment comes from Sam Cosentino, who talks about his first interaction with Pete's forward, Nick Robertson. Come take a look.
Well, it's funny, meeting with Nick. I think about the Prospects game back in Red Deer when he played there, and he and Kaliev, who had some chemistry with the Hlinka Gretzky U.S. team before, played in that game, and those guys were dynamite together. I mean, absolutely brilliant. So, but talking to Nick over the course of that time at the Prospects game, he was able to tell us a story about how he's a premature baby and how he almost didn't make it, and I could see why he was pissed that. He went 53rd. He probably thought he should have been first in that draft class, just the way he carries himself, how confident he is in himself. And I really love that about him. He's a fighter, man. He's awesome. I got to experience his brother, Jason, before him. And Jason was a little bit more reserved, a little bit more introverted, obviously an unbelievable player. And I think he's going to be a real good goal scorer at the NHL level. But Nick's a little bit different. He seems a little bit more gregarious, a little more outgoing. A little free and easy in being candid and telling a story and that sort of thing, but awesome speed, great shooting ability for a little guy. As someone who's been told no, basically since he was born, and all he's done is say yes. So I love that mentality that he brings to the table, the tenaciousness in his game. He's got really good hands, good feet, really quick hands, on a quick first step. So I really love what he brings to the table, and getting him to see him in games with the Toronto Maple Leafs was a pretty big thrill for me because it wasn't that long ago where we were hanging out in Red Deer at a Prospects game to the point he gets drafted to the point now where he was able to get into NHL games. That was a really quick progression for a guy, picked in the second round. So pretty awesome stuff.
Welcome back to Thursday Night Live, presented by Subway. Our next moment comes from Hockey Hall of Famer Larry Murphy, as well as Pete's legend. Larry talks about his time with the 1987 Canada Cup team. Here's that story.
Oh yeah, I thought for sure Mario was going to pass me the puck. It was I believe it was 3-on-1 at that point against the Soviets, and Gretzky had passed it back to Lemieux in the slot area, and I was off to the side of the net on my forehand for the tap in goal. I was right there. I was ready for it. I thought it was coming. Of course, can't go wrong. Mario scores. He shoots the puck. He goes up top. But still, being part of the play, it was at the time, it was interesting. I think back on that play and I go, boy, that I could have been the hero. That puck could have came to me on that one. But at the time, I was just so excited to see the puck go in the net that thought didn't even cross my mind. And I get ribbed to this day. I mean, I get called, the greatest decoy in hockey history, and people always have a lot of fun with that play. But hey, I was on the ice for that one, and tremendous pride. Even though Mario didn't pass the puck to me and I thought it was going to be coming to me, hey, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
So this one comes from our December 10th episode with Steve Dangle. Steve talked about his first interaction with Hockey Hall of Famer Jerome Aguinla. Let's take a look.
2010, just before the Olympics, I had just been to the World Juniors. I'd done a bunch of work for Nike, and I had done enough interviews where I was like, okay, I don't get starstruck anymore. Like, I'm a pro. Like, I'm still in university, but I was like, I'm a pro. I don't get starstruck anymore. Don't worry about it. And I knew I was about to interview Jerome Aguinla, who is my favorite non-Leaf of my childhood. There are a few guys, man, like him, Steve Yzerman, former Pete. He's up there. For sure, out of guys who never played for the Leafs, guys who I just adored, and Jerome Aguinla is about to walk in. And I go, don't worry, it's nothing. You're not going to get starstruck. And he walks in the room like Rick James in the Dave Chappelle sketch. What, like he had an aura, like, and I forgot everything I was going to ask him. I forgot all professionalism. I, shook his hand, asked him to sign my jersey. Lucky I didn't get fired. He was just a really good guy. And what I remember about that interview, besides how giant his hands were, is, he's this hulking dude, and we're doing this Nike interview talking about training and discipline and all that. But we had to put him in all Nike stuff. And so he had to change out of a couple things, and he had these powder blue socks on with little snowflakes on them that I want to say it was like a cousin made them or something. And this guy makes millions of dollars, and he's wearing these powder blue snowflake socks just after practice with the Flames. I love Iggy.
Thanks for tuning in this evening. The Pete's would like to thank you for tuning in to Thursday Night Live, presented by Subway. We hope you enjoyed all the episodes that we've had so far this year, and you join us on our next episode on January 7th. I got to get back to doing some video, or actually doing my job selling tickets. But thanks for tuning in. Good night.